Hi. Okay, I think we're live now. That's very exciting. It is... Facebook did a whole revamp of their software, of their whole platform this week. And I'm sorry to say, I'm having a hard time figuring out where everything is. It's very peculiar. Anyway, so it's Marci. Welcome to What's Up, Marci. It's Sunday, August 30th. Hard to believe that it's this late in the summer already. I kind of don't know what to do with that. Time is just a relentless bastard. Summer's almost over. Both my kids are back in college. It's the last week before teacher meetings start and back to school and all that entails. So late last night, I was thinking about what book I would do for Book Talk Sunday. It's usually what I think about Saturday night as I'm trying to fall asleep. And I'm not really sure what motivated it, but I started thinking about this beloved book that I used to read with my kids. Probably that they're away at school now and I'm missing them, longing for the days when they were young and I could hold them in my arms. But so the book that I was thinking about is this one called Giraffes Can't Dance, which was published in September of 2001, when my daughter was approximately 6 months old. And we kept taking it out of the library over and over and over again, along with a couple of other books. One of her other favorites was called The Baby House, and eventually the librarian suggested that maybe we want to buy our own copy and let other kids in our town read the book for themselves, since it spent so very long in our house. I also happen to be a giraffe fanatic. Those of you who know me know this to be true. I collect giraffes, statues, paintings, sometimes scarves and wraps and things, but mostly little statues and figurines and stuff. No matter where I am in the world, they seem to find me. I don't purposely go out ever and look for them, but they find me. And I have giraffes made of wood and carved of stone and made of metal and crystal and fabric and wood and some made of yarn. And I even have a giraffe that's a motorized like robotic kind of metal and plastic thing that I bought at Epcot years ago. Hey, Carrie! I was hogging the book. Yeah, definitely. We were hogging it. So we bought our own copy, and I read it so often to my kids that I had it completely memorized from the beginning to the end. And it's been quite a few years. My youngest daughter, who is 19, so this book is coming up on its 19th anniversary in 2 days, September 1st of 2012. No, 2001. Yeah, well, mathematic brain I do not have. So it's been a while. So as I was trying to think about this book last night, I was trying to remember the actual poetry, and I had the cadence down, the rhythm down, but I couldn't remember the poetry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you the book and show you the pictures. We'll be like we're in preschool or something. And then we can talk about it. But, the message is it's pretty deep, but it's not difficult to figure out. Oh, Carrie. Hi, Carrie. She was getting off and just saw that I was going live and wanted to say hi. Yeah, hello. Yeah, I was a little late. I had said about about 4:30 or so that I was going to go live at 5, and then I spilled coffee on myself and whatever. Today's been a crazy day. All right, so Giraffes Can't Dance by Giles and Guy Parker-Rees. It's very cute. I actually have cartoon versions of it on YouTube, which I think I might link to here underneath. Hi, Andrea. Yeah, it's a great book, isn't it? Lots of little kids love it. It's very cute. And I figured, what the heck, let's do a children's book this week. I've not done one for the entire time that I've been doing these Book Talk Sundays. Okay, the pictures are fabulous, so I will try to hold them. Let's move my coffee. I'm going to hold them so the camera sees them. Okay, Gerald was a tall giraffe whose neck was long and slim, but his knees were awfully bandy and his legs were rather thin. He was very good at standing still and munching shoots off trees, but when he tried to run around, he buckled at the knees. and then he falls. Poor Gerald. My daughter used to always want to kiss his boo-boos. She's cute. Every year in Africa, they hold a jungle dance where every single animal turns up to skip and prance. And this year, when the day arrived, poor Gerald felt so sad because when it came to dancing, he was really very bad. Am I holding it in the right spot? It's this way. Okay, it's backwards. The warthogs started waltzing, and the rhinos rock and rolled. The lions did a tango, which was elegant and bold. I love this. Dip in here. The chimps all did the cha-cha with a very Latin feel, and 8 baboons then teamed up for a splendid Scottish reel. Gerald swallowed bravely, and he walked toward the floor. But the lions saw him coming, and they soon began to roar. "Hey, look at clumsy Gerald," all the animals laughed. "Giraffes can't dance, you silly fool. Oh, Gerald, don't be daft." Gerald simply froze up. He rooted to the spot. "They're right," he thought. "I'm useless. I feel like such a clot." So he crept off from the dance floor, and he started walking home. He'd never felt so sad before, so sad and all alone. And then he found a little clearing, and he looked up at the sky. "The moon can be so beautiful," he whispered with a sigh. "Excuse me," coughed a cricket, who'd seen Gerald earlier on, "but sometimes when you're different, you just need a different song. Listen to the swaying grass and listen to the trees. To me, the sweetest music is those branches in the breeze. So imagine that that lovely moon is playing just for you. Everything makes music if you really want it to." With that, the cricket smiled and picked up his violin, and then Gerald felt his body do the most amazing thing. His hooves had started shuffling, making circles in the ground. His neck was gently swaying, and his tail was swishing round. He's moving around. He threw his arms out sideways, and he swung them everywhere. Then he did a backward somersault, and he leapt up high in the air. Gerald felt so wonderful. His mouth was open wide. "I'm dancing! Yes, I'm dancing! I'm dancing!" Gerald cried. Then one by one each animal who'd been there at the dance arrived while Gerald boogied and watched him quite entranced. They shouted, "It's a miracle! We must be in a dream! Gerald's the best dancer that we have ever seen!" "How is it that you can dance like that? Please, Gerald, tell us how." But Gerald simply twizzled round and finished with a bow. Then he raised his head and he looked up at the moon and stars above. "We can all dance," he said, "when we find the music that we love." Great story. Great story. So, obviously, we're all grown-ups here, so we can figure out what the message of the book is. It's not all that deep, but I think that sometimes even grown-ups need a little reminder. You know, we can't compare ourselves to what we think our neighbors or our friends or our colleagues or our other family members are doing. We can't look at them in the middle of their flow or at some undisclosed endpoint in their path to complete a goal and compare our beginnings to their middles or their ends. It's really not healthy to compare ourselves to anybody else, because when we find the music that we love, metaphorically, we can all be the best us we know how to be, the best person we know how to be. And if you live each day of your life, not that it's so easily not that it's so easily done, but if you live your life with that intention of being the best version of yourself today that you can be, and maybe only comparing yourself to the you were yesterday or an hour ago or 2 hours ago, and look at yourself along a continuum toward a path of growth, toward what the end goal of your goal is, or to what your definition of success is, then I think you're on a healthy path. I'm not a good dancer, regardless of the music. Although ballroom dancing is probably better than typical, like, club dancing. Whatever. Anyway, so that's it. It's a quick book talk Sunday. It's a great book if you have young kids or you have grandkids, to read it to them. If you are an elementary or middle school or nursery school teacher, it's a good book to read. But if you are one of the above, you probably have heard of it already. So anyway, there's another book that I'm going to read. I was actually thinking about it. A piece of my brain was thinking about it while I was reading this to you today. I forget what the actual title is, but Kristen Bell wrote it. The actress Kristen Bell wrote it. It just came out this May, and it's about racism. And so I won't do that one. Excuse me, I won't do that one as a live, but I'll do that one as a little recorded thing and put it up on my YouTube channel. Anyway, anybody have any questions? Want to talk about anything? There's only 2 of you here, but maybe you want to say something. Andrea, does your little one memorize any of this book? Hi, Chrissy. She's running out the door, but she's saying hi. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. It's 5:30 on a Sunday, and this is the first constructive thing I've done all day. Anyway, I guess I'll sign off. Ooh, hi, Jenna. Hearing you talk like this reminds me of being in your classroom. Brings back fond memories. You always made sure that we felt comfortable in your class. Oh, that's like the biggest compliment anybody could ever give me. I love you. I miss seeing your beautiful face. Yeah, I appreciate you saying that because, obviously teachers their main job is to teach kids. I mean, it's a verb in the noun, Our main job is instruction, and we have a curriculum and so on. But I think as an English teacher, I've got a blessed amount of latitude when it comes to how to do that. And what do people write about? What do writers write about? Well, as a writer, I know that I write about things that are important to me. I write about things that I know. I write about things that I want people to know. Or I write as an observation or narrative or analysis or criticism of other things. This is what people do. And so while we're reading almost anything, nonfiction or fiction or drama or poetry, we're reading that particular writer's commentary on the world and on humanity. So we're not just talking about like characterization and point of view and flashback, and we're not just writing about what we think the author meant, but what we're learning along the way, which is so much more important, is emotional intelligence. And we're learning that we're not alone on this mortal coil. We're not alone in humanity, and that everything is shared, and that any one experience or any one emotion isn't new to us. And although we might feel alone, what literature shows us is that it's all shared, that we're all in the same pot of cocoa. We're all just swimming around, doing our thing, trying to make sense of our lives, trying to be happy, trying to be loved, trying to love, trying to figure out what life means and what the meaning of our life is. And this is all very extemporaneous and extremely full of mixed metaphors, but this is what Jenna made me think of. And so I think as a teacher, my number one job is to get kids to know how they think and feel about things. My number one job as a human being is to connect with them and to share my humanity and my heart, as well as my intelligence and my knowledge, but really much more importantly, my heart and my humanity with them, and get them to feel comfortable enough to share that with me. And by and large, I must say I'm quite successful at that. I love my kids. I mean, Andreae was one of my first students. I think I taught 7th grade when she, my second year teaching 7th grade, I think was the year she was in 2nd grade. And she was a former student of mine and is now a teacher in her own right. I believe she teaches elementary school. And she's the younger sister of a colleague of mine who teaches 6th grade at the middle school next door to the high school where I teach now. And Jenna was a former student of mine who is on her own way of being a teacher. So I think just by the sheer fact that they're here right now is a testament to my ability to connect with people and build relationships. My hairdresser, who's been my hairdresser for 8-9 years, is a former student of mine. I've had mechanics fix my car who've been former students of mine. Anyway, I've been in a job for 25 years. I've had over 3,000 students and I live 12 miles where I teach. So to bump into and to have so many teachers in my life, so many students in my life, I think is kind of natural. Anyway, so I've taken 16 minutes of your time at this point. Thank you for sharing a little piece of your Sunday with me and joining me for like the 13th or 14th consecutive Book Talk Sunday. Maybe we'll do another children's book next week. I would like to see if there's any interest in like planning like a month in advance, doing like a book club kind of thing where we pick a book, we give like 3 or 4 weeks to read the book, and then do this Book Talk Sunday as a Zoom and live together, like however many people can show up, we talk about the book. I would love to do a thing like that. I don't know if there's any interest. There might be. Any interest in the 4 of you, potentially? I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to post another video in Permission to Heal, Safe to Fly, and we'll see if there's any interest. So I love you all. Thank you for joining me, and Gerald rather, and our lovely little dancing giraffe. And I hope that you all dance away the rest of your Sunday. Thanks for joining me. Love you all. See you next time. Bye-bye.